Leviticus is the third book of the Old Testament, and it is a part of the Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible. The book is primarily concerned with the laws and rituals of the Israelite community, and it is believed to have been written by Moses. The book is divided into 27 chapters, and in this video, we will cover chapters 17 to 27, a different topic related to the laws and rituals of the Israelites. In this chapter-by-chapter explanation of Leviticus, we will explore the main themes and topics of each chapter. We hope you enjoy our video. Chapter 17, Prohibition of Eating Blood. This chapter forbids the Israelites from eating blood. The blood of animals is considered sacred, and it is to be poured out on the altar as a symbol of the life that is in it. The Israelites are also prohibited from eating animals that have died naturally or been torn by wild animals. Chapter 18, Sexual Immorality. This chapter outlines the laws regarding sexual immorality. The Israelites are forbidden from engaging in incest, adultery, homosexuality, and bestiality. The chapter emphasizes the importance of sexual purity and the consequences of sexual sin. Chapter 19, Holiness and Righteousness. This chapter emphasizes the importance of holiness and righteousness in the lives of the Israelites. The chapter outlines a series of commandments that are intended to promote justice, kindness, and compassion. The Israelites are instructed to love their neighbors as themselves and to treat others with respect and fairness. Chapter 20, Punishments for Sexual Sins and Idolatry. This chapter outlines the punishments for sexual sins and idolatry. Those who engage in sexual immorality are to be put to death, and those who practice idolatry are to be cut off from the community. The chapter emphasizes the seriousness of these sins and the importance of following the Lord's commands. Chapter 21, Requirements for Priests. This chapter provides additional instructions for the priests regarding their behavior and attire. The priests are required to maintain a high level of purity and are prohibited from marrying certain types of women. The chapter emphasizes the importance of the priest's role in the community and their responsibility to set an example for others. Chapter 22, Regulations for Sacrifices. This chapter outlines the requirements for sacrifices and offerings. The Israelites are instructed to bring their best animals and produce as offerings to the Lord, and they are also given guidelines for determining what is acceptable and what is not. The chapter emphasizes the importance of treating sacrifices with respect and maintaining the purity of the offerings. Chapter 23, Feasts of the Lord. This chapter outlines the various feasts and holy days that the Israelites are to observe throughout the year. These include the Sabbath, the Passover, the Feast of First Fruits, the Feast of Weeks, the Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Tabernacles. The chapter emphasizes the importance of these feasts as reminders of God's faithfulness, and as opportunities for worship and celebration. Chapter 24, The Tabernacle, Lampstand and Bread. This chapter describes the lampstand and bread that were to be placed in the tabernacle. The lampstand was to be kept burning continually, and the bread was to be replaced every Sabbath. The chapter emphasizes the importance of these symbols as reminders of God's presence and provision. Chapter 25, The Year of Jubilee. This chapter outlines the regulations for the Year of Jubilee, which occurred every 50 years. During this year, all debts were to be forgiven, all land was to be returned to its original owners, and all slaves were to be set free. The chapter emphasizes the importance of justice and fairness in society and the need for restoration and renewal. Chapter 26, Blessings and Curses. This chapter outlines the blessings that the Israelites will receive if they follow God's commands and the curses that they will experience if they disobey. The chapter emphasizes the importance of obedience and the consequences of rebellion. Chapter 27, Regulations for Vows and Offerings. This final chapter provides additional regulations for vows and offerings. While some of the regulations may seem outdated or irrelevant to modern readers, the Book of Leviticus continues to offer insights into the nature of God, and the importance of living a life that is pleasing to Him. Leviticus provides insight into the social, cultural, and religious context of the Israelites during the time of Moses, who is traditionally believed to be the author of the book. Theological significance: Leviticus plays a vital role in shaping the theological framework of the Old Testament. It outlines the principles of holiness, purity, and atonement, which form the foundation of Israelite theology. The book emphasizes the importance of God's presence among His people and the need for sanctification in order to approach Him. Leviticus also presents the concept of sacrifice as a means of atoning for sins and restoring fellowship with God, foreshadowing the sacrificial system that would later find fulfillment in the person of Jesus Christ in the New Testament. Moral and ethical guidance: Leviticus contains a wealth of ethical and moral teachings that are still relevant today. It includes laws and regulations that cover a wide range of areas, including ethical treatment of others, family relationships, social justice, and personal hygiene. Leviticus promotes virtues such as honesty, fairness, compassion, and respect for others, providing a comprehensive framework for righteous living that continues to be valued by many religious and ethical traditions. Practical application: despite its complex and sometimes challenging nature, Leviticus also provides practical guidance for daily living. It includes instructions on how to handle issues such as food, hygiene, childbirth, disease, and sexual relations. Leviticus provides a comprehensive system of laws and regulations that were intended to guide the Israelites in their everyday lives, helping them to live in a manner that honored God and promoted communal well-being. Symbolic and typological significance: Leviticus contains various symbolic and typological elements that are seen as foreshadowing the coming of Jesus Christ in the New Testament. Leviticus also highlights the importance of separation from impurity and consecration to God, which can be understood as a metaphor for the believer's need to be set apart from sin and dedicated to God in the Christian faith. In conclusion, Leviticus is an essential book in the Bible due to its historical, theological, moral, ethical, practical, symbolic, and typological significance. It provides a rich and multifaceted understanding of the ancient Israelite culture, their religious practices, and the theological principles that underpin the Old Testament. Leviticus continues to be studied and valued by scholars, theologians, and believers alike for its enduring relevance and insights into God's relationship with His people and His call for holiness and righteousness.